Okay, we are now recording the November 18th, 2016 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Today I'm going to start out with a little intro for everybody. We have Linda from Upland, California with us. Say hi. We have Larry from Port Washington, New York. Larry, wait, give us a wave. We have Misha from Stoughton, Massachusetts with us. Hey, Misha. We have Adam from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hey, Adam.
Hello.
We have Katrina from Lake Arrowhead, California. We have Dennis from Linwood.
Washington.
Pardon?
Washington.
Washington, yes. We have Brandon from Russellville, Arkansas. Brandon,
Hey.
You don't have to wave. You're driving. Please concentrate. We have Joanne from Syracuse, New York. Joanne's drinking her coffee. Hello. We have Yvette from Walnut Creek, California.
Hello, everybody.
So that's who's with us today. Today we're going to start with Misha. Misha wants to tell us something.
I just want to say a big shout out and thank you to our own Miss Joanne Del Balso for starting what I think is going to be a fabulous mentoring program. And hopefully we'll be able to give you some more updates as it goes forward. But we had our first meeting today, and I just want to express my gratitude to her for fitting something that helpful and useful to other people like myself, other bookkeepers and accountants and tax people to help us kind of narrow in our practices and stuff like that. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Who is this Joanne person you're talking about?
I think she might be in Syracuse, New York.
We all know her.
And
yeah, we know somebody we know.
I said it was somebody you know.
Well, you're welcome.
So this is in beta right now, so not a whole lot can be said.
It's in
now.
beta. It's in beta. It needs to be kept on the down low.
Okay. And then you're ready to roll it out. Hit us, baby.
The beta group is experiencing it firsthand right now.
Oh, good. Can't wait. Can't wait to hear the news. Okay. I guess we'll go around. Linda, let's start with you.
I'd like to pass to
shout out.
Yvette.
Pardon?
Yvette is not.
You know what? It'll take too long, and I know if we start talking on my subject, I'm gonna be late.
Well, if we start with
Okay.
the recording,
I'm trying to find. I'm looking at Carbon, okay, to manage my team and projects, and also practice submission for my onboarding. So I just wanted to know what people use, if people have used those, and if they haven't used them, is there anyone that has used something different? I would also love to have something that does one app that does all that encompasses both sides. Because I'm finding out that it either does one or the other. And both of those apps are, having that subscription every month, it is very expensive. I know that Practice Submission is $79 a month, and Carbon is $50 per user. So I have a team of 3 getting ready to onboard my 4th, plus me, that's 5, that's $250 a month.
Wow, that can get pricey, yes.
But it's beautiful. I love Carbon. I've tried other things, and for me, I'm very visual, and I like things that you can use, easily, that there's not much thought. Like if I need to move something around, I just grab it and move it.
And what does Carbon do?
It keeps track of my clients. I have like one side there's a list of my clients. To the right is my team, okay? And so my team will say I have client ABC. I assigned a member of my team. So team member 1 might be taking care of client ABC. And then to the right of that, it shows the tasks that have been completed or need to be done. Okay, and then you could prioritize as well. So if I need to find out, okay, what about client, DEF? Have they, has all the reconciliations been done for them, and up to what point, So I could put that as a priority. Then my team member number 2 that's handling that has to let me know when they're done. So it keeps track of the work that's happening. And, also too, we could communicate with the client as well. So it's just helping me a lot. It will help me a lot to keep track.
What is the website? Is it just
Carbon HQ.
CarbonHQ.com.
It's, Ian Basson, who used to work for Xero. I think he's him and a couple other guys started this company.
So it's a work management app.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Carbon HQ?
Yeah, it's KARBONHQ.com.
Ah, because I was spelling it with a C.
And I sampled other ones, but I fell in love with this one. It's
Okay, that doesn't work.
user friendly.
Does
It's
it work with the QuickBooks and Xero? Well, I guess it wouldn't need to.
No, yeah, it doesn't need to.
I know
Go ahead.
the 97 and up thing with Seth, and he's been doing a lot of stuff with Smartsheet, and he's got a little thing for 97 and uppers for Smartsheet, customizing the monthly bookkeeping checklist.
Yeah, I've looked into Smartsheets. I've used it. It's just way too complicated for someone like me. I mean, if you look at Carbon HQ, their interface, it's beautiful. It's clean, and you could see everything. It's in these boxes, and I don't know. For me, it's easy.
Got
And
it.
if you go on their website, you could see, right here, it gives, I think these are the clients and what have you, and you can move things around. I mean, this is just part of it. There's about 3 different things to it, and I just,
This is similar to like a 17 hats kind of thing?
DePulse, have you guys heard of DePulse? DAPULSE. They were my second runner-up.
And what's the price just for a single user for Carbon?
It's $50 per user. Yeah, so I mean, for my team and me, it would be about $250 a month.
Yay.
That's why I'm like,
I think I'd go to pencil and paper for $200.
I can't.
I'll
It's
snap
like doing it
Snap
in
a goddamn picture. Here, take a picture. This is what you got to do.
Nah.
There you go. I just saved you $200 a month.
Wow, this is serious. And they don't even list the pricing on here.
No, they don't.
Adam, thanks. Adam.
Whenever I go to
I wanted to sign up for something, sign up for it. They won't even let you sign up.
Yeah.
You have to talk to someone, and they kind of
Well,
custom.
look how much they charge.
see, if for $50 a month, they are going to come to my house and wash my clothes.
We're going to have to do something more than just delegate to my staff. For
There
that.
you go,
Yeah,
for
okay.
real.
No, seriously, though, how many people, it's you and 3 other people?
Yeah, but I think for right now, I'm just going to try it with 1 or 2 because I want to
And
first.
those people are all remote?
Yeah.
That's kind of why I like the whole Smartsheet thing that Seth has implemented. It's free, and as long as you build it out, you
I
can
know, but
put
it's,
in conditional formatting to like remind you, like if someone misses a deadline or if
Yeah.
something wasn't checked
yeah,
out.
I see what you're saying, and I know a lot of people that use it. But the problem with me is I'm very visual, and I
So-
like the Carbon stuff. Really, when I go into it, it stands out. It talks to me.
But the one thing that I do, because I don't really have a system right now, like kind of set up as far as anything that complex as Carbon. But one of the things that I do and I have 2 people that I work with here, is I've been using Trello. And because you said you were visual, so I use Trello boards, and I have a board set up for each of my clients. And then I have a list that's set up that's called like their work list. And so what I do with the work list, which I set up like a checklist, right? Gina knows the little checklist as they go along. What I do with that is I'll take that master checklist for that client, and I copy it and I move it into my my employees' their own get things done board, and I will put it in their get things done board, and boom, and then they just sit there, and when they're done, they'll drag it into their done board. So I kind of know exactly where they are on different things. I could just go into their board and kind of glance at it really quick to kind of see where they are. And Trello's free, so that's kind of where, you know what I mean? I mean, it kind of serves the purpose. Obviously, it's not perfect, but the one thing that I just started playing with the other night that's kind of like a smart sheet type thing, and I think it could potentially be used for something like this type of delegation and prioritizing. It's called Airtable. I played with it a little bit. I'm going to play with it more this weekend because I have time this weekend, but they have a free option for that one too. So.
But I mean, anything you do, Yvette, there's going to be a learning curve, and you're going to have to set it up for your business anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and figure out what your actual workflow is. So there's going to be a lot of work that has to go into it anyway.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I just think you just want to make sure that you're doing the right thing, I think, by just using it for like 1 or 2 people to start to see if it's going to be worth the investment to that much a month. And is it going to really save you that much time?
And then making sure that the people that are working for you are up to that level as well, because it might sing to you, and in the voice is angelic and sweet and nice, but your staff person, it might sound like devil music.
Yeah. See, for me, I have to go like this, and I have to hit Janine and say, "Could you do that, please?"
So it also has, you also have to, even though it works for you and your style, you also have to look at your staff people and say, is it going to work for them and their style?
Okay. Yeah, that's good advice.
I'm excited to hear. So did they give you a demo of Carbon?
Yeah, we had a one-on-one, and
Okay.
as a matter of fact, I gave them my whole client list because they told me it would be faster if they input it, which I was a little nervous about because I've never done that before. And so they told me that would save me time if they do it, but it's really easy to add. They're showing me how to add and everything. And so I've been supposed to get some of my file I should have access to my file today or Monday, they told me.
Awesome. That's exciting.
Yeah, once I get in there, I thought, maybe you and I could check it out.
Keep us
Yeah,
posted
definitely.
how much you love it. Or
Yeah.
if you don't.
There. So I'm going to see how it goes. But I got to run, people. Have a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving.
Bye,
Are we
bye.
meeting
You
next
too.
Friday?
I'm glad you could join us.
Are we meeting next Friday?
Yes.
Okay, day after Thanksgiving, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'll see you guys.
Bye.
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 I was going to ask that. I guess decision made now.
I was gonna say, maybe we can ask Nancy Smythe to come and bring her maple flavored vodka.
Ooh, good call, Linda.
Yeah.
Awesome. They're maple teenies. So Linda, you wanted to give a shout out.
Yeah, I wanted to shout out to Sarah Laidlaw, who's a member of our group here. She helped me with that client that I brought from Quicken to QuickBooks, and we needed to get the balance sheet to match the compiled financial statements for the last 3 years, and also to match the Schedule L's that are part of the corporation's tax returns. And so I hired her, and she did it. So I got 6 hours of labor.
Yeah.
And the owner of the company said he'd pay her. So I was going to pay her out of my check, but he said, no, I'll pay her.
Well, good. He should. It was his
Yeah.
work that.
Well, it was, but I kind of feel like I've been making a nice chunk of change. I think he's gotten his money's worth, and I think he really knows that. So.
Well, awesome. And a good job to you for knowing what your limits were and hiring a professional to come in and help you. That's a tough call to do too. Hard to know that.
Sarah's very good at balance sheets. Her TBX is a trial balance sheet importer. So it's kind of like, you want the best person with balance sheets, Sarah's it. The other thing that I think that probably all of us need to start thinking of, and I was reminded of this because I saw Nancy Smythe's post on Facebook yesterday, and she was just remoting in to upload 5 out of 6 new company files for 2017 to a client's QuickBooks program and out to the servers, I guess. And that's something a lot of times people will wait and they'll say, oh, well, January 1st, I'll start my new data file. Well, but one of the things that's real important, if you're going to start a new data file, and also at this time, I want to bring up with all my clients, do you want to switch your payroll provider? If you do, January 1st is the perfect time to do it.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
and it's nice if you have some time to make the decision, like, well, who do I want to use? And do I want to use T-Sheets or do
Instead
I
of
want to use
waiting
a
until the week.
QuickBooks payroll or do I want to use an outside payroll? So all of that's very important, and I'm kind of getting ready to send out a reminder to all of my current clients. And there's someone else who I gave a quote to, and he has not started the process yet. And I believe he wants to go back to August when he started the business. But I'm going to need to point out to him that if he waits till after January 1st, that the proposal cost will go up.
Good for you.
Because
you
I
for
don't know
putting
what
a
else to
time
say. It seems to me usually when you give a quote, it's good for 30 to 60 days, maybe 90 days. And then you got to really kind of start over from scratch.
Right.
A lot
Absolutely.
more work too to get caught up to where you're at. So, hi, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
Oh my.
Yeah. So that's one of the ways I'm getting more business kind of in the pipeline too, is to
Good.
see if anybody wants to make any changes at the first of the year. So,
Awesome.
Great.
Awesome.
thank
I
you.
want to kind of switch gears a little bit, talk to Adam. We were too late last week to talk about Profit First, so let's talk Profit First.
Yeah, it was, so I started on board, and basically what I'm doing now is sort of getting certified. They give you like 5 quizzes that you need to do, and then they give you the answers afterwards, just so you're aware of what sort of the process of what Profit First teaches. And then there's like a final exam you take. And then right now what I'm doing is I opened up all my bank accounts, my Profit First last week, and then I'm going to be doing the Profit First assessment on myself and 2 clients. So that's sort of where I am in the process. It's really weird because I have a Stripe account, and I'm kind of been converting all my revenue to Stripe rather than checks. And I converted the Stripe account to my income account, and I'm like, where's all my money? And it took me a minute to realize that I have Profit First now. So I have a completely different account that everything goes in.
So how does that work with your bank accounts? Say that again, Adam.
I have at the bank that I usually go to, I have an income and an owner's pay account. So everything, basically all the income all the revenue that I generate goes straight to the income account first. And then twice a month it's allocated based on the Profit First percentages to the other accounts. And then I have a bank that's not at my bank. I have a separate bank account for at a different bank for tax and profit accounts.
Nice. Nice.
And so probably next week I'll be doing my first allocations to all the different accounts. That's kind of my plan. And then just can I keep getting a rhythm, keep doing it.
And how do you have it set up to be allocated? What do you use as your criteria?
Let me see here. I actually have it in this little document here, so give me a second. I have, so off my top line revenue, because I don't have any materials or subcontractors currently, I got about 38% going to operating. I have 6% going to profit. I have 41% going to owner's pay, and I have 15% going to tax.
So instead of taking whatever out of your business as it's needed, you're just doing things percentage-wise?
Yep, and that's what Profit First teaches you, is to allocate a certain percentage of your top line revenue, or what's called real revenue, which is materials and subcontractors.
Got it. Got it.
And I also presented, I did my 10-minute for BNI yesterday and presented Profit First.
Oh, awesome. Congratulations.
So I did
How
that.
was it received?
It was actually received pretty well. I was actually surprised because most of the other people, you know, a lot of the business owners in my BNI group are kind of sticklers, and they don't want to, they want to do their own accounting for some reason. I don't know. So, but I got some favorable, and some people actually came up to me and wanted to schedule one-on-ones. So
Nice, nice. Congratulations.
thank you.
Well, you'll have to keep us posted how it's working for you.
Yep, I have my next call on Monday, so I'll have all the quizzes done and all my homework done for Profit First. So on Monday, so next Friday I can give you a little update.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. Okay, so let's go back. Who do we have next? Larry, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. I had to switch computers. The laptop
Giving
faded
you
out
problems again.
again. Anyway, I didn't have much. I just wanted to share that Seth had Receipt Bank on today, this morning, and they were describing some new enhancements to the product, and they were talking about some future enhancements along the line of payables. They're going to start working on accounts payables, I guess.
And what will they be doing in the future?
They're going to be working on accounts payable.
And what kind of things will they allow us to do? Will we actually?
Now, obviously, they take pictures of the receipts, and they match up with Xero or QuickBooks Online. They don't match up with QuickBooks Desktop.
Okay.
But they're like receipt management, and to a large degree, I think expense management too. Not the same as Expensify, but they're looking to up their game a little bit, and it sounded very interesting. I haven't had a chance to go on and look at their demo, but it sounded very interesting.
Awesome.
I
Well,
know
keep us
about you.
posted if you find out anything and if you decide to dip your toes in it.
Maybe it's just me, but I have a hard time kind of differentiating between all these different software that seem to have a lot of overlap, like
Oh, I agree.
Bill.com and Expensify, and keeping track of all the nuances. It's
What does what doesn't do what.
I think you just need to pick one and just stick with it, just for your own sanity.
Yeah, but you have to be open to change too, because a lot of,
Well, I agree with that, but-
everything is so brand new, and
Yeah.
once you start working on it, then improvements start happening. Look, 17 Hats has now offered multi-users.
Yeah, so
Yay.
Well, it's not multi-user now. It's multi-account access. It's a big difference.
Oh,
Multi-users coming along, but basically what that means is so I have 2 or 3 17 Hats accounts, let's say. One for me, one for No Fuss Accounting, one for Be Socially Awesome, blah, blah, blah. So you can now basically toggle to your other brands to be able to do
got
work
it.
on those things. It's not multi-user yet, but it's multi-account.
Okay, got it.
Easily from a drop-down, so. But multi-user is coming.
Okay.
It's like a dashboard, and you can just go to whatever.
It's like a drop-down. You can just automatically go to the dashboard for the other account.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's awesome.
I actually went through a demo last week with Receipt Bank. I had a private demo with one of the guys that I met at QuickBooks Connect. And I just think I think that it might be good for some clients. I don't necessarily if it would work for my clients per se, but I could see how for some businesses it might be better served. I think for a lot of people, it's going to be a price point issue, you know, seeing what's going to be matching the cost benefit of how much the client's going to have to pay. The benefit of what Receipt Bank is offering to the accountants is that you get the accountant dashboard for $50 a month, and that allows you to purchase client accounts for $15 a month, up to, I think, 50 transactions a month. And then it kind of scrolls up. So it allows you to be able to kind of like do a wholesale billing model for a client and roll it into your price and kind of have it be all in one place. Or as an end user, you can choose to purchase it for, I believe it's $30 or $35 a month.
Okay.
As an end user. If you didn't want the accountant dashboard, and I think that's the weird thing, is that you can't really get if you get a trial for Receipt Bank, you only can get a 14-day trial of the end user. And get the trial for the accountant dashboard. And yeah, so. But I had a good talk with them. I'm still talking with them about a couple other things. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to use it, but they obviously, with this, the way they price, I think the accountant dashboard is to me, it's like they want the accountants to obviously use it for themselves and have it be their system for using it. And right now I use a combination of a couple other things that I'm very, very happy with. So yeah, so it's a maybe for me right now.
Okay. I don't know how many receipts I would need. I mean, that I would need a Receipt Bank for. You know what I mean?
Well, it's the way they show it to you is that it's meant to be used as what I like to dub proactive accounting. Okay, so this is you're pushing things into the QBO before the bank feeds come in. So it's like you buy something online, Gina, and it comes into your email, you forward that email to Receipt Bank, right? Receipt Bank will automatically read it with OCR and will push it into QBO. And
whether it's a credit card or a bank.
And with a few filtering features, hopefully be able to post it into QBO, and then your bank feed will come in and match it. You'll have the receipt inside of Receipt Bank, the PDF, and then you'll also have it attached inside of your QBO. So what they're really good at is what they're trying to say they're really good at, and I don't know how, because I haven't tested it out, is the OCR recognition. How it scans, how it recognizes the last 4 digits if it's a card, and how it kind of knows where to put it. But it wants you to, whenever you get a receipt, if you're out and about, you snap it on your phone, you send it there. If you get an email, you send it there. If you scan it, like, they want you to do that first and have that be for your clients too, to be doing that so that everything kind of gets coded for you ahead of time and you see the receipts.
That's awesome. I think my clients would like that a lot more than I would.
Exactly.
One of the features I like, though, that he said is that it can go to multiple accounts. You know, some receipts can only go to one. You can actually break them out. And the example I think he used was restaurants with equipment and food and those sorts of things. But I think to Dennis's point, like if you're using another app to hold all the data and then push that back in, I don't know how all of these guys talk or if they do.
That's my concern too, yeah.
When it comes to document management, and I actually just had a conversation with a couple of the LuLaRoe girls about this last week. My concern is this, and I told this to the Receipt Bank guy. When I look at a document management system, the first thing I ask myself is, if I don't use it anymore, how do I get my stuff back? How do I get copies of my PDFs back? That's why I don't let people use the document management inside of QBO, because you can't get your
document by document back. Yeah.
Without downloading it one at a time. So I warned them, if you want to use it, you can use it. It's free. It's built in. But if you ever leave QBO, you have no access to it. You have to download things one at a time before you leave. With HubDoc, you can easily be able to export your stuff. with Receipt Bank, they also do have a good way to be able to export your stuff. And also they let you still have access for 7 years after you stop your account.
That's
You
nice.
still have 7 years of access to it. So those are the important things that I kind of look at, because to me, that's more important than, you can have a perfect thing bringing something into QBO, but if you can't ever get a copy of it, then you're risking losing, that documentation. It was Brandon put himself on mute.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. I just am waiting for all the competition to die down and things to start rolling into one. So there's a lot of overlap.
And this is also what I told the guy at Receipt Bank. He probably hated me when we got off the call. I said, look, I use HubDoc. Okay, HubDoc fetches my statements, and I can bring my documents over almost as similar as I can with you. And I still really didn't get the major difference, except for he was trying to push the accountant dashboard, which to me, when I looked at what they were trying to say, you can be able to tell how far your client is in their bookkeeping process and stuff like that. I go into their QBO file, I can tell exactly what they've done.
Right.
So it kind of, to me, it kind of tries to attempt to create a layer of what's been going on. But honestly, just because it's done inside a Receipt Bank doesn't mean that certain things aren't done in QBO. So I would why waste my time logging into there? I'm just going to log into QBO or log into Xero and see what's been done.
It's kind of one of those, it's nice to have, but it's not really critical,
It's, it's bells and whistles to sell $50 a month.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
But like I said, some people might like that. Some people might be able to have it to be able to see, when money's coming in and that kind of stuff. I just don't really think I kind of look at do we really need that extra bells and whistles? I'd rather save that money and use it someplace else. Especially when you can get something from HubDoc for free.
Yeah, I mean, how much?
Because almost exactly, the functions are almost exactly there. Like I can't see where the function is any different, except for them putting that layer on top of it, and HubDoc fetches statements.
I mean, how much more time does it take you to do it the old way rather than have the the bells and whistles? I mean, if it's like 10 seconds, is that worth getting paying extra money for?
Yeah. And the beauty thing that a lot of people don't realize with HubDoc is that you can actually use that as a way to be able to quickly grab a bunch of statements for your clients with their 14-day free trial.
Got it.
You can get CSVs for almost a whole year. For certain accounts, you can get PDFs. All you have to do is have them sign up for HubDoc, log in, put their banking things in, and you can use it for 2 weeks and get all the information you want if they don't even want to pay for it.
Well, I would think that companies that are small and so, similar, there's going to be a shakeout and eventually someone's going to, if you pick the wrong
because Gina's right, there's a ton of overlap. Receipt Bank, Expensify. But Expensify, I think, is more towards people that have people in the field that need to get reimbursed.
That's what they were saying on the video this morning, is that it was more for mobile people out in the field. Expensify was.
For reimbursements, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Question. Joanne, I got a call from a mayor, and he was at a small business person's office. And the person was accessing a QuickBooks data file using Microsoft Remote. They were remoting in somehow to look at their data file. And they wanted to know if they could get a copy of that data file. And I said, as far as I knew, they could not. I don't know if they were on QBO or what.
Well, if it's Microsoft, they're probably talking about remote desktop.
Yes.
And I would say, yeah, that's basically dialing right into the computer.
Oh, so they could then download a copy of that data file from somewhere else onto theirs?
They could probably, they could probably send it to them. They could probably make a copy of it, save a copy of it, and email it to them. Well, it's so basically what what a remote desktop connection would do, Linda, it would be like, let's say you're on your computer right now.
Yes.
It's basically like you being on your computer right now. You basically take over the controls of the computer, but it's more of a real time than like you know how LogMeIn sometimes is like slightly laggy? This
Yeah.
is basically like on the computer shuts off, nobody can use it, and it's basically you log in right like you're on the computer. So if they're on the computer, they can be able to do a backup. Probably they could upload it to Box. They could send it someplace else.
But what it was the client, and the client was logging into the accountant's copy of the file. So I suggested that they call the accountant and talk to the accountant about getting a copy of the file. And I said you should.
That sounds very strange. That sounds like there was some kind of problem between the client and the accountant.
That's what it sounded like to me. So I suggested that what they do is that they go back and they look at what kind of a written agreement did they have? What did the letter of engagement say?
Yeah.
The question becomes, who owns the data file? If the accountant has created it from scratch and maybe he's included as part of a big tax package. So, and we don't know whether the client has paid him or not.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of unknown.
So I
questions.
said that would be the place to start. And I said, if you want, I'm happy to talk to the accountant and see if we can work something out. But the person who was doing the work was, I believe they were Korean. No, they were not. They were Portuguese. That's right, because I asked what language they spoke, because the mayor said, I can't really understand. I can't put him on the phone because he doesn't speak English very well. So he speaks, I said, well, I have a friend that speaks Portuguese, a client. So, but it turns out, it sounded a little bit weird. And I said, well, he could try to save it. He could try to back it up. But if you're on somebody else's computer, you can save it and back it up to their computer, not your own. So it was...
But there's ways for them to send the file to themselves. So even if they're not on their computer, they can easily. I do that all the time. I do that all the time with sending myself accountants copies, importing changes by. I do that all the time. But yeah, so there's a Chrome remote desktop, and there's also built inside of Windows. It's a Microsoft remote desktop, and that's probably what they're using.
And by the way, for a remote desktop, Microsoft, you have to have Windows Professional.
Oh, that's right.
Order for it
to Windows Professional 10?
Yes. So if you have, which again, when I started as a home business, I bought consumer computers that came with Windows, like the home version. So if it doesn't work when you don't have that option to do remote desktop. It only comes with the professional version.
Got it.
So now I have to upgrade, which I looked it up and it's only $100, but I'd have to upgrade 2 computers so that my laptop can then talk to my desktop and I could take my laptop home.
Got it.
But it might be worth the investment, to be able to do that, especially when
Now I use Share Connect to connect my 2 computers. Actually, I can go on anybody else's computer and my phone, and I can connect from my phone, my laptop, anyone else's computer over to my home computer as long as it's on with Share Connect. And that's not, it seems to me I'm paying $10 a month for that. And I pay
That's a very reasonable price. So I want to say that when you get calls from clients or people that you don't know, you have to watch the questions that they ask. When they ask questions like that, sometimes the things that they are telling you are not absolutely 100% the truth. You're not hearing the entire story. So, you're laughing, Dennis. I have throughout the years gotten different copies or backups that were password protected, and I'll have someone bring that to me and say, can you open that? Well, in all probability, I can, but the question is, will I? And until I get more answers, the answer is no. I'm not stepping into what could be a lawsuit.
Yeah. So, and I think when the mayor, it was a small business in a city next door to ours, Ontario, and he was trying to help the small business. And when he heard that perhaps the accountant owned the data file, then he said, oh, and I said, I'd be happy to talk with him, because I said, usually if somebody wants to switch it, because I didn't know, I said, do you know why he wants a copy of it? Because usually accountants will keep the backups and
Right. And if the accountant is keeping it, then the client
There
probably
might be
owes
good
him
reason.
money.
yeah. So
There's a simple solution to that. Pay what you owe and you'll get what you get.
right, and talk to him.
Right. Oh, absolutely. So there's more going on to that story than
I usually keep my client stuff because most of my clients lose stuff. They lose stuff.
But Misha, that's a different story. You
I
know your clients. You have a relationship with your clients.
Yeah.
And you don't withhold information from
No.
And if they need a copy, they just contact you.
Yeah, and I don't charge them extra
Right.
So it's kind of funny that I had a client who also happens to be my brother. He's like, can I come get some copies? I'm like, sure, come get them.
That's right.
I'm not bringing them to you.
I'll tell you, I think every accountant that I have met so far has been a super nice person. I don't know any accountants that I don't like.
Actually, I know a couple that I don't like.
That's a general statement.
I might know one or two.
Yeah, there's some that I'll be like, not today.
But you know what I mean. In general, they'll do what you want. If they're not, then there's things that you don't want to get involved in.
That's true.
But let's hear a funny story. Let's switch. We got Joanne. She's going to tell us a good client story.
I'm excited to hear this.
Okay.
Let me put myself on mute. Get my popcorn.
Get the popcorn out. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, so this was a client that I picked. Well, it was kind of a potential client. Let's put it that way. So what I do with some of these clients that I'm unsure what I'm getting into, they've been doing their stuff for about 6-7 months inside of QuickBooks Online. They think they got a good handle on things. You always hear that story. I think I know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. So they were interested in having me be their accountant. And so we met so that we could talk about what that would look like, working with me, how I work, da-da-da-da. So what we decided the best course of action was going to be is that I needed to be able to figure out, I always like to look at their QuickBooks file to get an idea of what I would price them for. They would need like a review service. They needed like a CFO, okay? They need somebody to come in either monthly or quarterly, whatever they decided, so that things could be reviewed, cleaned up, fixed, do tax planning and tax preparation. That's kind of how I bundle everything together. So what we decided on is that I would do a quick review, not a quick review, but I would do an in-depth review, give them a list of everything that they're doing wrong, ask questions if I need to, and get everything cleaned up through. It was like mid-year. So I had them prepay for 5 hours of my time, and I used up, I went a little bit over, but who cares? No big deal. I did all that, wrote them a really, really long, detailed email, giving them a whole bunch of things that they're doing wrong, still some open questions I have, blah, 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 blah. And I told them, I said, and then in that letter I said, here's an idea of what it would look like for me to do, for me to be your accountant, tax preparer, and it's going to be X amount per month. And it would start with July and August, right? Because I've done everything through June. And then that would include everything: tax planning, tax preparation, our year-end meetings. It included a tax return for the partnership and the two partners, personal returns, everything, boom, with a monthly fee. So they came back to me this was July. They came back to me no, this was August when I emailed it out. They came back to me 8 weeks later saying, oh, sorry for the delay. Basically, we're not interested in the monthly review stuff that you want to do because we don't need that. I think once I figure out a couple of these things, I'll be good. But we do want you to do the tax return and the tax plan for us. So I purposely waited 2 weeks to respond to them because they waited 8 weeks to respond to me.
Yeah.
And I said, unfortunately, that's not an option. I work with my clients. It's a all-in-one package. I have to review your file in order for me to do the tax plan and to do your tax return. That's just part of my process. The monthly fee includes that. The majority of that fee, honestly, is my tax planning and my tax preparation for 3 entities in the beginning of the following year. So, okay, all that said, and I haven't heard back from the one owner. Now, I get a call today from a guy. I didn't recognize him. Evidently, he's this guy's partner that I've never talked to before.
Oh, lovely.
I seen him. He was on the first Zoom, sat there, muted, staring at me, never said anything. He called me and asked me, he was really nice. He asked me a question about setting up a savings account, whatever, something like that. So then he's like, yeah, he goes, did you get Anthony's email? Yeah. Going on and on and on. He's like being I'm like, yeah, he didn't read my email back. I said, because just doing the tax stuff just isn't an option for me. This guy went nuts. He was like, that's BS. Where do you be? I'm like, I just won't sign a return. If I can't review your accounting. I've used accountants before, and I just give them a piece of paper and they sign the return. I said, I'm not one of those accountants. I can run my, and I was trying not to get upset. I'm just like, he goes, so then his next thing was he wanted a refund. I'm like, a refund of what? He goes, I want a refund of all that money we paid you. And I'm like, but I provided a service for you. I reviewed your file. I cleaned up your file. I gave you a whole list of everything that needed to be fixed because it's a honey badger of a mess. And he's like, well, he hung up on me because I go, if you want, I said, I would be glad to give you some referrals to some tax people around here. I do not do just tax returns. I'm not H&R Block. I'm not Jackson Hewitt. It's everything if you want to work with me. And I said, I would love to give you a couple of good connections, you can refer each. Boom, he clicked, he hung up on me.
Couldn't believe that you were refusing his money.
Well, refusing to give him a refund because I said I wasn't willing to do just taxes. So because I wasn't willing to do just taxes, he didn't like the fact that I had done work on his file.
So did you have an engagement letter for those first 5 hours with the prepay?
Yes. Yes, it was a pseudo engagement letter, but I do it like in a quote style. But yeah, it was very laid out in a quote style saying,
so you told him exactly what you were going to do.
Everything that's in the quote was everything that I did.
It was you were going to do?
Yep, I cleaned up I actually did an extra month. I did an extra month of work.
Well, then that's the answer to him.
I gave them everything that they did wrong.
But you owe me money now because I did that extra month.
Yeah. Yep. And then I actually told them that they could, there was still stuff that needed to be cleaned up that I do still intend to clean up, but they have to pay me more because we were still working on a consultant hourly type thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
See, that's the thing is that I like to just kind of do a prepay until I know that they want to work with me, and then I'll convert it to just a monthly fee or whatever. But he was not very happy with me, and I just got off the phone and laughed. And as soon as I got off the phone with him, I blocked him on my cell phone.
Good.
I blocked the number. And I don't know what that does, but it made me feel good. I'll probably still get an email from him, right?
You'll get an email from his partner.
Or maybe from his attorney.
That would worry me.
Yeah, or he'll probably try to go back to how he paid me and try to request a refund.
Yeah. I liked Seth Sanser on Facebook, how he likes to always come back to the client with whatever the client's business is. When dealing with an attorney, I ask him, well, will you take my case if I don't tell you anything about my case? Will you
Yeah.
say, "Oh, sure, I'll be your attorney"?
Yeah.
You want to hear about the case for us, you know?
Yeah, the guy was just like he's like I call BS. Of course, he swore though. He's
Oh,
like
yeah.
he's
Well,
like
you should have known better. He's
he's
talking.
like you can do taxes without reviewing the stuff. That's baloney. And I'm like,
Maybe
well,
other people.
ethically, I shouldn't be signing a return if I don't know where the numbers come from. So, and for my practice, for me to confirm that I know where the numbers come from, I have to review your QuickBooks file.
That's right.
Seems like a rocket science.
Sadly, I think there's still a lot of people out there like that. I think what happens is sometimes small business owners get a little, I
Yeah.
don't know, too full of their power that they have over
Yeah.
people and try and treat you like you're an employee, and you know what I mean?
I don't think he liked it because I was giving it right back to him. He obviously does not know who he's dealing with. Because
And he should be glad that he didn't get you cussing.
yeah, I know. Janine was like watching me. She was just waiting.
She was waiting. She was waiting for it to come out. It
No, I was just
gonna bust out
I was
too.
being very friendly with him. I was like, I would absolutely love to, because here's the thing. It wasn't like I didn't want to do the work for him. It's that they weren't in agreement with how I work. I can't serve them. They're
That's
not my
right.
ideal client.
That's
I would do
right.
nothing against him. When he became belligerent is where I really had to step back and say, because I could have really easily been belligerent right back. And I just said, I apologize, but I would really like to, refer you to somebody that can help you out tax wise. It's just that I'm not the person. When he was just like, because he didn't know exactly what they were paying for. Like he wasn't involved in that whole part of it. So he thinks I didn't do anything for him. So, but anyways.
Well, he didn't have any idea what it was you did. He
No.
thought all you did was give them a quote.
Yeah, he thought all I was doing was looking at the file so I could tax plan for them, and the hours that I spent in their file was me cleaning up the big old
Right.
mess that it was because they were not trained correctly.
Yeah. What's always interesting is you can actually save them a lot of money, especially when they transfer money from one account to another account. Somehow they classify that as income.
Oh, well, they had $140,000 worth of credit card payments that were just underneath an expense account that said credit card payments, and they weren't going to the right credit card.
Yeah. And that's very common.
Yeah.
It is. That is very common, but that means the P&L is very off.
Oh,
Mhm.
sure it does.
You have no idea whether you're making money or not at that point. So that's the biggest thing. And sadly, it is his loss.
Mhm.
It's his
Yeah.
loss because he would have good numbers he could understand when he was done.
Yeah.
And
They
wouldn't have to
they don't want good numbers. They just want somebody to just make up numbers and do a tax return. So if you know any other tax people that are like that, let me know. I'll send them your way.
Yeah, I usually give them a link over to the QuickBooks Pro Advisor website. Or if it's somebody that I know would make a good client, I'll do something like what I did with call Sarah and ask her to do it. Or I'll call somebody from the group and see if they're interested in doing the work
Yeah.
for them. But if it's a client that I think would make everybody unhappy, I just give them a link to the Pro Advisor website.
Yeah.
Investigate.
belligerent and
This guy I would not refer to anybody that I knew.
No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want him. Thank you very much.
Send them to the local green door,
Is that to smoke marijuana, the green door?
No, H&R.
Oh, okay. Because out here in California, the way you tell if they sell medical marijuana right now is they have
Well-
a light outside.
Well,
Oh, God.
You know what I did?
It means they sell marijuana.
Yeah, that's what it means.
That.
Green for grass is for weed, I guess. I don't know.
You know what I did end with actually is that before he hung up on me, and I think that's what he got pissed off about. What I did end with is I told him, I said, here's the thing is that I could do that. Like I could just do your taxes, but you are going to pay more for me to do that than, because I would have to charge you a lot more because I'm still going to have to review the stuff throughout. I mean, I'm still going to have to do my own review, so I'm going to have to charge you more for it than probably anybody else would. And I don't think you would not engage with me at that price. So if
Right.
I was, so my tax, so that's why everything is so packaged correctly, at least the way I do it.
Yes.
They pull something away. The other thing, it gets extremely expensive. You need to keep the two together. It just makes it so much easier for them, and it flows into each other. I mean, for those of us that do, accounting work and then roll it right into tax planning with them throughout the year, and then the tax return at the end of the year, it all flows together. You need to have that all together if that's the type of service that you're offering. It just makes sense. It doesn't make sense for him to pay. They would never do it. So wasting time.
And they'd never appreciate it the way you've done it, you know?
Well, yeah, I got that figured out.
Yeah.
I still can't get past the belligerent.
Yeah.
Period. You don't want to work with people like that. I mean, if he gets belligerent over that, and that's a misunderstanding on his part, wonder what other things that he doesn't understand,
Yeah.
Oh, a lot.
Mhm.
you know? So,
Especially when he gets a big tax bill.
till he gets a big, and then it would be your fault. Hey, Mariette.
Hi, everyone. I'm just sneaking in before we end the day so I can say all my favorite peeps.
Well,
So
nice of
we-
you to make it after we've been here for a whole hour.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I'm doing what you're doing all the time, Joanne. I'm actually doing billable work. So you should be.
I find that hard to believe. You are not doing any billable work whatsoever.
I actually was. I was doing billable work, and I was also checking out the multi-user login in 17 Hats, which I'm super excited about.
Well, we talked about that a little bit. It's
Cool.
multi-user for accounts, not multi-user for.
It's multi-user for accounts, right? It's multi-account.
It's just a multi-login. Let's call it
Yeah.
that.
It's
a
multi-account.
multi-login.
Yeah.
So like Joanne and I, we have multiple accounts. So for my tax practice and my accounting practice. So now we just talked about that last week. Remember being able to toggle? So
Yeah.
now we can toggle. So for me, that was like so awesome. So I'm super, I literally got the notice in the Facebook this morning, and within like 5 minutes, I got it set up because it's super easy to set up.
Yeah.
Go into your login. So yeah, that was awesome.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Before we go, I think the one subject we didn't talk about was
Full advisors.
advisor site.
Oh,
Sure.
yes.
Joanne?
Me again?
Yeah.
Oh, advice site.
Well, if you want, we could talk about it next week.
Okay.
Just a few
Okay,
minutes.
that's fine.
We could talk about it next week because I got a lot to say about it because it was a whole, we went for like an hour and 15-minute meeting with Intuit on that. So I got,
Oh, wow.
we gave them a lot of
Right
feedback.
Isn't the way I get there is like to go to QBOA and then go down at the bottom left corner and go.
QuickBooks Online. Yep.
Okay. That all I care about is when they change it, they just tell me how to get there. That's all. And they never.
Yeah.
It's like what?
It takes a while for people who use desktop to figure that they have to log online. to
Yeah.
find
Well,
it.
now I know that. Well, you have to log online to go to the old ProAdvisor thing. Too.
Yeah, because they switched that. Yeah, that's basically where it is. But yeah, so there was basically 8 of us in there, or 8 to 10 of us in there, and we gave some really good feedback. But we can save that for next week. We can talk about it next week.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun.
Okay, anybody else have anything they want to talk about tonight?
Oh, I wanted to show you something. Hold on here. Let me share my screen. And, oh, wait a minute. There it is. There we go here. Ta-da! Thank you, Misha. I signed up.
We're still
Not
seeing,
seeing anything yet.
yeah.
We're seeing blackness. What'd you sign up for? All black.
Oh, the account text. I
Okay.
thought I was sharing my screen.
Yeah,
Oh,
now you are.
Now you are.
Do you see it? No?
Yeah,
Yes,
now
we
we
do
see it.
now.
Okay. So anyway, I've got an ID number and everything, so.
We'll be
Congratulations.
there.
So Thank you,
Awesome.
Misha.
I'll wave from my office.
Meet you and we'll have a party.
No, it's in September.
It's in
This is-
September. I'll
Yeah.
be there. I'll be in
It's
Boston.
after Labor Day.
I'll host a meet and greet at my office. Y'all
Yeah.
can
Awesome.
I may consider that. I could
you
consider
guys
that.
can honey badger it out to Stoughton.
Ooh. I'm gonna drive through Stoughton on my way to Boston.
I know you can grab one of them damn party buses in Boston and come out here.
Oh, I love that. That's a great idea.
Take the red line out, right?
I know. Actually, you guys take the red line out to Braintree to Quincy Adams, and I'll grab you in my little
There you go. She'll be the Uber driver.
I'll Uber you that
awesome.
day.
I like it.
She'll be the
Hey,
tour guide.
actually, something that's kind of cool for those Asana lovers like me. Now Asana has boards like Trello. So if you were, I was using Asana and Trello and Smartsheets and 17 Hats.
You're using too
Wow.
money.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
for different things. So
Mariette.
Uh-huh.
You need to write down all of the apps you use and look and see how much money you're spending on a monthly basis.
oh, nothing. Asana's free.
Asana's
17
free.
Asana's free. 17 Hats is free. For me, Asana's free. 17 Hats is free. Trello's free. Smartsheet, I have the lowest level. So yeah, and a lot of the other vendor apps is free because since I test a lot on them, I get them for free.
Oh, okay.
There's ways to make arrangements. I pay half rent because I manage the 4-unit building I live in. So,
Yeah, but I love that now that Asana has the board. So that
yes.
whole idea that Trello has, and I've been using it for task management anyways. Trello, I kind of stayed
Bryce,
away
can
from
I borrow
it.
your headphones?
Somebody's borrowing somebody's headphones.
Oh, that's Christy.
Christy's joining us.
Hi, everybody.
Left
Guys, well, I gotta go because I have to. I gotta go get fish. The hubby's waiting.
Okay, bye, hubby.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hi, Joanne.
Okay, last couple minutes, what are we going to talk about? Sarah, you kind of came on a little bit at the end. Anything you want to say?
Do you have heat in your house?
Oh, I do. I'm just really cold. I've been cold all day. Well, it's kind of funny on the topic of what Joanne was saying. I have this QBSE client who I will be onboarding, and I got to the point in the conversation the other day that I had to say that the tone in which I'm talked to is not very win-win, and I don't feel appreciated. So I suggested that maybe it would be better that we just sit down in person and have a meet face-to-face. And at that point, I didn't tell him this, but I will share it with him at that time, that maybe I won't be having him as my client if we can't get to a mutual kind way of speaking to one another, mostly on his part. At every corner, it's like, I want to do this, and then then the next conversation, I'm really sorry I talked to you that way. And I'm like, I can't have that. You can't do that. And I'm so excited because it was my first QBSE kind of with, but I won't do it at that level. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But that's on Monday at 9.
Good
Well,
luck.
with
Maybe,
that.
maybe there's a reason you
But
need
Mike-
a new accountant.
My most exciting news is I got my first consulting client, Notify. She signed up. I think I was telling you, Gina.
Mhm.
She
Oh,
signed up,
that's awesome.
and I start working with her on Monday afternoon, and I'm so excited because it's kind of a lot of money for them, but it will be just like, so I think a huge change in what they're gonna do. So
Oh,
I'm
nice.
yeah.
That's very
Nice.
exciting.
Congratulations.
So So I had a meeting. I have weekly meetings with one of my clients, the architect client, Canada. You know, I've mentioned her before, and so she's just moved, and you know, I helped coordinate that, and I got her set up with phones and anyway. So there's a new entity that I'm working with her on, blah blah blah, and she came to this realization. She's like, we were talking about, she's having a problem where I need to ask somebody who's a Mac user. One of her employees was using Dropbox and deleted some of the files.
Oh.
And she's trying to get Dropbox to restore it from before that day. and she's having trouble, but they're all sitting in his computer in the trash. And in order to bring them back, it's like one at a time. And she goes, is there an app for that I can just grab them all and bring them back? And I said, I don't know. But I'm like, I said, you're so spoiled now that you've had me have all these different things I tell you. She goes, yes, I am very spoiled, and I like it. And then she basically went on to say that the new people in the partnership, they don't think about this stuff. She's like, why do they not think about this stuff?
So Misha,
huh?
So are they sitting in the garbage on the Mac?
Yes.
Okay, I run on a Mac. She can't just hit Command A to select all of them and then drag them over to the Dropbox file?
For whatever reason, it's not reading it. She literally says she has to drag them one at a time, and there are thousands of files because they're an architect firm.
Right.
And the good thing is he didn't delete the Rivet and all of the other work stuff, but she's like, I'm trying to get them out, and she can't figure out how to get them out.
It would be like a 2-screen thing where she has her windows where she wants to put them to open, and she could drag and drop in sections and drag them over.
No, she tried. She said every time she tried to select more than one, only one comes over.
Yeah.
That seems really odd.
From a Mac, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because I'm also in Christy's boat. I'm all Mac. So
that, and I said I told her I would ask the Mac people if there was a program she could use to hold on. Joanna's
I think she just has to honestly do the Apple Store then. Honestly, they'll do it for her. She's trying to get Dropbox to restore. She pays for Dropbox?
Yes.
They're supposed to do that then.
But they haven't. She's waiting.
Yeah, because on the business side, the part of the feature of that, paying for that service, the business service, is if anyone deletes something, she could go in as administrator and restore it too.
Well, she can't, for some reason, she can't get it done, and she called. She put a ticket.
Maybe she's not the administrator. Maybe he is because he pays for it.
No, it's a company Dropbox. It's not but they're just taking forever. She's already been on with them several times, and for some reason, it's not. She hasn't been able to get it to do it. I was telling her, I told her I'd ask if there was a program. She's like, is there a program that I could just go and get it all and bring it back? And I said, because I'm in a Windows world, and I'm like, just restore, you know what I mean? And that should do it, but apparently not. So, but she's been on the phone with Dropbox, and they haven't done it yet.
Well, the nice thing is that at least the stuff isn't gone. They know where it's at.
Right.
Yeah, what a pain.
Yeah. But the thing she said is that when they restore, they're going to restore everything, because she runs Parallels too. So it's going to literally bring everything.
Oh, and she may lose what she's done after that.
I don't know. So that's why I was thinking maybe she could. I told her to have her daughter just move them individually, but I wasn't sure if there was something on a Mac that she could put in and have it.
I'm wondering if there's some kind of corruption or something that happened to the data when it got put.
I don't know if it's a Mac thing and how Mac does deleting. I don't know.
No.
And I would tell her, make a backup of her, run a time machine capsule, and then if she's using Parallels, take a snapshot of that, so that if she does end up losing stuff when the Dropbox gets restored, she can actually just put that
in the chat.
Type that and
sure.
Because I don't know if you just type it up. You can. I'm on Facebook in the group. Just type it up and I'll copy exactly what you say.
I am in the car on my way to the beach right now with my family. But I'm in the car on the way to the beach with my family.
Speak up! I can't hear you talking about you going to the beach. I can't hear you.
can't hear me talking about going to the beach.
Not when it's 45 degrees outside of Massachusetts and I'm wearing a hoodie and
Oh, well, it ain't much warmer in Oregon, honey.
Oh, you're in Oregon?
Yeah, we're heading down to Cannon Beach.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, well, we're from Seattle, so going to Oregon's a vacation.
It is. Misha, I was going to ask you though, on that note, is that person's computer backed up? Because that's another way to do it. That was going to be one of my questions. In the time capsule that she's speaking of, because you can do a backup.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because you can go back to that day if they're willing to lose some of that work.
I don't know.
And that's not hard to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they have laptops. But again, shoot me a potential resolution, and I will.
Are you going to write that up, Christy? You're going to do it? Or?
Write that up.
If I remember as soon as I get to my hotel room.
I will
Let me
literally
just.
paste it in my client will be, this is from my colleagues who use Mac. Here's what they say, and I will send it to her.
All right, I'm going to type this up for you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Like what you need to do is hire a Mac person to restore
In
it.
that case, just go to Apple.
That's exactly. They'll do it rather
Go
quickly.
get a professional that knows what they're doing rather than you're.
I'll find out from her again. I might also be telling you. I might not have the full picture of how it's set up and what is going on.
Sure.
But it sounds like what she deleted was Dropbox folders.
Yeah.
Yes.
That he deleted. So I think because it's connected to Dropbox, it has something to do with that. I don't know. So that's why she's trying to have Dropbox. Because Dropbox has the ability to go back to the right when he did and restore them all.
Well, did she delete the folders that were on her hard drive, or did she delete the folders that were out on the servers?
It's not her, Linda. It is an employee who deleted stuff to the folder he had access to.
So it
It
would
didn't
have
affect,
right.
it
and
did
his
not
desktop
affect
still has-
everything, just what was on his computer in his Dropbox, in that Dropbox folder. Does that make sense?
No, because if he deleted it on his hard drive, all he has to do is reset it up and connect it, and it's all out on the cloud. There's two places. There's the cloud Dropbox, and there's your hard drive Jackbox. And if you delete this one on your computer, then you don't have what's here, but it's still out there. You just
However he did what he did, he deleted the files he had access to in Dropbox on his Mac.
I got that.
I don't know what that means.
Why not hire a professional to fix it?
She has Dropbox trying to restore the files.
But they're going slow.
But they're going slow. They haven't done it yet. So she's looking for other ways to do it.
So you're just trying to be helpful.
I am just saying to her, I will ask my colleagues who use Mac to see if there's another way that she can get access to those files. Either way, she'll have to literally go back through all of the hundreds of emails that she's gotten from her clients, because she's an architect firm, and download them again. So she's just trying to get different options. Yes,
I sent it to you, Misha,
Shelley Robbins
in the chat.
is an expert on the Mac. You might send her an email or
Yeah.
a text or something, because she used to teach QuickBooks.
Shelley's been forwarding Mac clients to me.
Yeah.
Marianne, yes, I'm sorry.
So Christy got me. She'll take care of it.
Okay.
So
I just-
I am planning on having another meeting or having a meeting next Friday. So I know it is the day after Thanksgiving, and typically holidays can go either way. Sometimes there's a lot of people, sometimes there's hardly any.
Yeah.
But, we'll have the show anyway.
Find about the
We will
pool
be having a
advisor
meeting
problem.
next week, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So.
Just
I'm
real
gonna-
quick, what time does this one start?
It starts at 5:30 Eastern.
2:30 our time.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Dennis.
So yeah, you came just at the very end. Happy to have you here, Christy. Maybe we'll
Thanks for having me. I'm gonna pop off now, though. I wanted to just pop in and say hi and see what was going on with everybody.
Thank you.
See you guys later.
All right, have a good time.
Alrighty.
Misha, did you get it?
Yeah, I just copied it.
Awesome. Okay.
Tina, I know we're logging off, but maybe next time we can bring up that share file for those of them people that use share file or I know there's a lot of us that
Oh,
do.
okay, yeah.
They have a new workflow tool. So I know a lot of us, especially that use ShareFile for our tax practice, we may use something else. People say Jetpack Workflow. I think Melissa Whaley used that 1040 something. I forgot what it's called. Something about Bridge, 1040 Bridge. Well, ShareFile is going to have its own workflow now where you can pretty much create like a checklist, and then the checklist gets sent to the client. And as the client checks off their documents, it gets put into the secure file folder. Very awesome. It's amazing. It's very close to what Intuit Link does. If you use Intuit Link, it's the same idea where you create a checklist and then clients go in there and they read their checklist, and as they put a document in, it checks off the box. It's kind of nice because when they're done, it shows like 100% little pie that they're done. ShareFile has just implemented a very similar workflow tool. So definitely something we should talk about. It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Wow, it does sound like it.
It is. So maybe we can look at that. And then the other thing that would be awesome we could talk about is I've been looking into the Google Suite with Smartsheet. So you can do a Google through your Gmail. You can actually email lines into your Smartsheet. So maybe Dennis, do you use Gmail, Dennis?
I use it, but I use Zoho, but I use Gmail as kind of like, it's more like a conduit
Okay.
to Zoho. And I use another Gmail account, but I don't really use it that much anymore for business.
Okay. So yeah, I want to look into that, how you can actually email lines into Smartsheet from Gmail. I think that sounds amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
we can look at that. All right, guys.
You got it. So
jumping
we're
off
going to
too.
sign off for now. Happy Thanksgiving. And
Happy
enjoy your time
Thanksgiving.
with your family, everyone. See you next Friday.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.
Still recording.